Hi guys, welcome back. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know that I've picked a lot of Euro cylinders on this channel. Euro cylinders are becoming increasingly popular in the UK as more people move away from the traditional wooden door and replace them with UPVC doors that have multi-point locking systems. These systems have been designed so that the part that is most likely to need replaced is easily replaceable, and that part of course is the Eurocylinder lock itself. Sadly, this is the weakest part in most people's doors because a lot of people, when it comes to buying a new cylinder, will just buy the cheapest thing that they can get. This is not the right thing to do though, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to correctly measure for a new cylinder and how to choose a new cylinder. Okay, so before we start measuring, we want to look at the cylinder as it is in the door. Is it the right size? And by the right size I mean, is it perfectly flush with the front of the door? You get cylinders to the nearest 5mm nowadays, so there's no point in having a cylinder that's hanging out 20mm. In fact, it does decrease your security quite considerably. Okay. So if your cylinder is not the right size, if it's too big or too small, then just add or subtract from our measurements as necessary. Now we're going to remove the cylinder from the door. It's usually easier to measure the cylinder when it's out of the door. So to remove the cylinder, you want to open the door. On the edge of the door there will be a screw. Now if it's a UPVC multi-point locking mechanism, there will be many screws. The screw you're looking for is or should be level with the bottom of the cylinder itself. Just take it out. There may be a cover or of some sort to stop the screw from falling off. Then I think usually you can just press down on the door handle and that shield moves out of the way. This screw is quite long, by the way, so it may take you a while to unscrew it, but once we've got the cylinder screw out, you might find that the cylinder is loose but it won't come out. That's because this cam will be stopping it. You need to put your key in and turn it just a bit so that the cam lines up and you can pull the cylinder out. Okay, so there's a few ways of measuring. The most common one is, well, all measurements are in millimeters. The most common way of measuring is from the center of the screw hole to the outside edge. In this case it's 40mm, and it's good to measure both sides, so the other measurement is also 40mm. So when we order a new cylinder, if this is the perfect size for our door, then we measure a 40 by 40 cylinder. Also, because it's even on both sides, we can order an 80mm cylinder. In some cases you get a cylinder like this, which is not even on both sides. For example, if your door is thicker on one side than the other, then this is where this sort of cylinder would be used. So in this cylinder would measure 55 by 40mm or 40 by 55. It doesn't matter which way round you use this cylinder, so it doesn't matter which way round the measurements go. And it generally doesn't matter if you've got a generic cylinder like this that can be used both ways, then it doesn't matter which measurement comes first. However, if you're ordering a special cylinder, you might have to, it might make a difference which side is which. In these cases it should say on the website which measurement comes first, and the cylinder itself should be marked with EXT on the outside. You may have a cylinder like this which has a thumb turn. In a case like this, you just again measure from the center of the screw hole to the outside edge. This is 35 by 35, and usually the outside measurement comes first, followed by the second one with T after it, the letter T standing for thumb turn. This isn't always the case, and obviously it varies depending on the website that you buy the locks from. Okay, there's also another method of measurement which isn't so common, but you might see it. It is where you have three measurements, the middle one being 10. That's because in most cylinders the middle, or the cam itself, is 10mm wide. Of course, the other two measurements are from the outside edge to one side of the cam. So this one would be 35-10-35. It's all the same measurement for the same cylinder, just different ways of measuring.